Hello again, and welcome back to the 406-411 podcast with your hosts, Bethany and Michael. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Michael.
And we're here again to discuss the people, places, and stories of northern Montana.
And beyond.
Yes. So what are we discussing today, Michael?
Today we are going to talk about something that is in Conrad Ponderay County history lore that's known as the $1 Million Mistake. It goes by another name, but we can't say that on air. We are a PG show. So I think
I didn't agree to that.
Well, I figured we were family friendly.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so $1 Million Mistake. If you have been in the Conrad area for even the smallest bit of time, you will hear people talk about this place. It is known as Safeguard Montana, or the Perimeter Acquisition Radar Station.
I get it. P-A-R.
I know that's clever, right? Even I got that. But anyway, this was a radar station that was started to be built in the late 60s and early 70s, heart of the Cold War. So the whole idea behind it was that it was going to detect incoming Soviet nuclear missiles that were headed for our nuclear missile fields, plus Malmstrom Air Base down there outside of Great Falls. So, two sites are going to be built. There's one built right outside of town here, outside of Conrad here. And then there is another site that's built in Minot, North Dakota. So
why not Minot?
Because freezing's the reason. So, yeah, I remember that when I lived in Plentywood. So both of these, they start getting built, all right? And we're talking a massive amount of concrete, of rebar, just unheard of amounts for north central Montana and the northern Great Plains in general. But it's getting built. Minot's is going along all right. Things are going great. Workers are showing up. The materials are getting delivered on time. Much to the direct opposite of our PAR site.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Why did ours go so wrong?
It went wrong for a multitude of reasons. First, we weren't getting the supplies when we needed to get the supplies. But then there were work stoppages, there were strikes, there were protests. I keep hearing a story that work was shut down for quite some time. I've heard anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple of months of one guy protesting this site that got the whole place shut down.
Why was he protesting it?
The only reason I have heard is we already gave up a lot of land to put up missile silos. So we got these missile silos. So farmers and ranchers, they already gave up all this stuff. But now they want more to put this site up, this PAR site up.
And it's huge.
It is big. We went out there, what was that, about 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
No, it wasn't 4 weeks ago. I think it was more like 2 or 3.
Days blur together for me anymore.
Right?
So, but it's been a minute since we've been out there. But this is a giant structure. You go out towards Ledger. You keep on going like you're going to Tiber Dam, and what, about 20 miles?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like 20 miles.
20-ish.
It's going to be off on your left, and you can't miss it. It is literally in the middle of nowhere, this giant concrete megalith.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It is wild. But when they were building this, we had the work stoppages, all that fun stuff. But then we got a treaty signed. All right. It was if I remember right, it was the START treaty. I get START and SALT treaties mixed up. One of them, though, said we could only have one of these perimeter sites, these perimeter acquisition radar sites. And Minot's was farther along than ours. So what do? We end up having to fill in ours. I've heard that it's filled up with concrete. They left all the equipment down there, filled it with concrete, and walked away.
Yeah, my husband was very saddened to hear that it was filled with concrete because he wanted to try and excavate it, but I think that's a no-go. Do you know how deep it went?
I've heard anywhere from 4 to 5 stories in that range. So, we're talking deep. Our producer, Lynn, just said it's the SALT treaty in, 72? There you go, in 1972. So that shuts us down, fills it all in, and now it's this great monument of folly, to governmental folly out here in north central Montana. But it tells an amazing story, not just with the idea of the Cold War, of nuclear weapons being launched, the whole duck and cover drills, even having, I personally love the idea of Bert the Turtle. All right. Bert the Turtle's a legend, teaching kids in the 50s to duck and cover because that's going to save you from a nuclear explosion. So, I mean, it tells a wonderful story.
And this structure was being built to withstand a nuclear explosion, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
right?
It was supposed to house, it was what, like 1,000 people in there?
Yeah, I think it's 1,000 people for something like 10 years.
Something like that. So I remember our producer Lynn saying something about that. So, but not only is it a wonderful story about Cold War Montana, because I mean, you think Montana, there ain't much going on out here. No, we were the front lines of the Cold War. Not only do we have Malmstrom, but we have the PAR site, but then we also have the nuclear missile silos scattered all over central Montana. I always like driving past it and singing "It's the End of the World as We Know It."
If there are any Russian spies out there listening, we have no nuclear missiles here. None. Go look in
Illinois. Go to downtown Chicago.
Yeah. No, hey. I apologize to anyone from Chicago on Michael's behalf.
Uh-huh.
No, it is interesting because I drive around on the back roads a lot, and I will see occasionally like the convoys from Maelstrom coming out to do maintenance. I guess a lot of the silos have been decommissioned.
Yeah, a lot of them have been decommissioned. We still do have active ones in the area. So there are active ones, but yeah, a lot of them have been decommissioned. And I was just reading a news article a couple months ago that supposedly they're supposed to be being brought back online for a new generation of missile.
Really?
So like they're going to get rid of the ones that are there and replace it with like the next gen kind of a deal.
Wow.
It was I think it was in the Great Falls Tribune about 6 months ago. So yeah, that's public knowledge. So yeah.
You're not spilling any secrets. Like you would know any secrets.
I
like,
know
who would
lots
tell
of
you?
things. I just know things. So yeah.
If you weren't before, you are now.
I'm on a list now. But yeah, so I mean, in Montana, we were the front lines. We had the PAR site. Eventually, that gets shut down. Though we have our nuclear weapons arsenal scattered all over the area. So it tells this wonderful story of late 20th century America. So it's absolutely wonderful, but it also is this idea of government waste too. So in terms of how much
our government,
I know it's shocking.
Wow.
We waste. Oh my God, a hammer that cost, what was it, $10,000 or something like that in the 90s. So yeah. But no, it's a brilliant story. And I mean, we're chock full of this. I mean, our own, I think it's Blue Sky Villa.
Yeah.
That was originally set up to be a military base.
Right.
So military housing.
I mean, the whole area would be completely unrecognizable to what it is today if that
if
the
it all
PAR had stayed open and if it was manned and
apparently I've heard from a couple people here in Conrad that there is enough infrastructure under the town in terms of water and sewer pipes, that sort of thing, that would host a population of 10,000 people, which, could you imagine that? A population of 10,000 this close to Malmstrom and Great Falls. Wow.
If we had gotten 10,000 people here, I bet it would have grown to be even bigger than that.
I wouldn't doubt it. It's our hidden little gem. So.
Right. Because, I mean, we're kind of a good distance between the Canadian border and Great Falls, so we got kind of a nice little...
We got a good spot.
Yeah, we got a good spot here.
We got a real good spot. Even after the site was shut down, but now you have this new idea of art showing up out
right?
there. You were the one talking all about that. All I know is Chris can't swim. So we're sorry, Chris. I hope you can swim now. We don't know who you are, but we hope you can swim.
If you want to learn how to swim, you can contact us, and we will put you in touch with some excellent swimming instructors.
Yes. We've got a pool here in town. So
sorry, Chris. Yeah, no, I was when we were talking about the history of it. There's so much graffiti out there. I mean, it's
everywhere
with graffiti. And what struck me is there's some artwork out there that is just gorgeous. I mean, there's like the typical,
phallic symbols.
There's a lot of phalluses.
Yes.
and a lot of 4-letter words that, since someone wants to be family friendly, I can't repeat here.
Well, knock yourself out. I ain't here. You're an adult. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life.
But there's this beautiful graffiti and even with the stuff that's a little bit more crass, what's interesting is we sort of have this like time capsule of, teenage, young adult,
angst. Coming
of age angst. We have like this record of it for like the past 30 years because some of that stuff has been up there for, it has to have been like 30, 25 years,
and there are
something
some
like that.
Amazing pieces like those the wolf and the moon outside on the, I guess that'd be the west wall, I think it is, was unbelievable. And then somebody painted over part of it, so that wasn't any good, but the rest of it was just gorgeous.
I took a picture of some of it and I showed it to my husband and I'm like, look at this is like some Banksy level art here. And he looks at it, he goes, that looks like something Banksy would do. Are we sure that's not Banksy? I'm like,
Do we have an unknown Banksy out here? Is that what you're trying to say? You calling it now?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty epic.
So.
No, some of these pieces of art out there are just unbelievable. I wish I could draw something like that because, God knows I can't.
Right.
But some of it is between the wolf, then there was the car inside.
Yeah. That was really cute.
That was pretty cool. They brought in 2 tires and leaned it up against the wall.
Right. And then painted this VW bug around the tires. It was really cute.
But yeah, there was just a pile of stuff out there. And it's kind of turned into, I think, a party site for local teenagers because there were also a lot of beer bottles and whatnot scattered around. So, if you head out there, bring a bag, clean some of it up if you wouldn't mind.
And make sure you have your tetanus shot.
Yeah, it can get pretty sketchy. It gets pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
But no, the whole area is wonderful. We went up there. Someone had spray painted up on top of the roof there because you can get up there.
Props to whoever got up onto the ceiling.
Oh, I forgot about that.
How high do you reckon that ceiling was?
Oh, God, that was... I'm terrible with distances, probably a good 20, 30 feet.
Yeah. And there's like one lone piece of graffiti up on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And we're just like, we're looking at it and we're like, how? How did that happen?
Someone was dedicated. That's how.
I don't know. Maybe it was one of those, like, somebody stood on somebody's shoulders and somebody stood on their shoulders sort of thing. But...
I don't think we're talking about trapeze artists here or anything.
I saw it once in a cartoon.
Well, of course, that's got to work. But no, there's that one up there that says, what was it, like pay artists or something like that?
Yeah, and we got that's our Facebook picture.
It is our Facebook picture. So follow us on Facebook, 406/411 podcast. Stuff will be there. Yeah. So, and then we've also got our Spotify. Hopefully you're listening on this, or our YouTube by the same names. And then we also have our email address. Beth's got that. I don't know what that is.
If you want to contact us about show ideas, or if you're interested in being a guest on the show, you can drop us a line at our Gmail, which is 406-411podcast@gmail.com.
There you go. There's our in episode PSA, I guess you could say.
Yes, and also if you are watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe the video. And if you could drop us a comment in the comments below, that would really help out. So
we do love hearing from you.
We do. If you can't think of anything to write, just put an emoji and a little smiley face or something. Something nice.
Happy little face.
Yes.
Happy little face. But yeah, like I said, do yourself a favor, go out to this area of Montana. Obviously, the weather is starting to turn because, I mean, it's October 20th? So it's October 20th right now. So the weather's starting to turn, but if you're in the area, head out there, check it all out. Because, I mean, you can even see the foundations for some of the buildings that were going to be built out there, which is pretty wild because not only do you see these foundations of buildings, but our producer found these 2 books that she got from her work that was radiological training manuals and food and agriculture against nuclear attack. Ooh. Have you had a chance to look at these?
No, I haven't.
They're wonderful.
Are they?
They will be here at our Conrad Museum here on 4th Street in Conrad. So please stop by, check them out, because I mean they're talking about how do you build a barn underground for 40 cattle?
Ooh,
40
so
head?
They're like a prepper's dream.
Kinda, yeah, a little bit. I mean, just that statement alone of 40 cattle underground, I can smell that. I can smell that right now, and it does not smell good. So. But I mean, these here, you got to check these out. These are just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Wow. Received December 21st, 1961.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're just starting to get our silos online right at that point in time. But I mean, does it give a date on there besides the 1961?
Nope.
No?
All I can see is it was received December 21st, 1961.
Oh, there you go. So, I mean, we're just less than a year out from the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Mm-hmm. And 4 days before Christmas.
That's nice. Anyway, so I mean, there was the Cuban Missile Crisis. That was going on. Of course, the Soviets had already launched into space with like Sputnik and whatnot a few years earlier. So the fear of nuclear war is high, to say the least. I mean, my dad is in our studio audience. He is our studio audience today. He probably remembers all of this stuff. So shout out to my dad. So he's over there shaking his head. Yeah, I remember all this. So...
Well, I've heard my mom talk about doing
duck and cover.
Yeah, doing duck and cover and stuff in school when she was little.
Follow Bert the Turtle. All right.
I have never heard of Bert the Turtle until you mentioned it.
Are you serious?
Right, and I still have not heard of it except from you, so I'm starting to think maybe this is just something you made up.
I'm disappointed.
Well, too bad.
Bert the Turtle is a legend. Even my students, they all know Bert the Turtle.
You know, I'm going to Google it right now and
see
if it's actually a thing.
It is a thing. Have I ever led you astray? Don't answer that.
I was going to say.
But no, it is an absolute real thing. There is a movie out there that I show to my classes when we're going through the Cold War and whatnot called The Atomic Cafe. And it has Bert the Turtle in it. It was, I forget who it was that put it out. I keep wanting to say Civilian Conservation Corps, but that's not it, obviously. I think it might have been Civil Air Patrol.
Okay, you win this one. I just Googled it, and Bert the Turtle is a thing.
Bert the Turtle's a legend.
He's a thing. I don't know if he's a legend. I haven't heard of him, so he couldn't be a legend.
Well, you also grew up out in Minnesota. So yeah, according to that source of Wikipedia, Duck and Cover is a 1951 America Civil Defense animated and live-action social guidance film.
Oh, stop.
What?
You can get a Bert the Turtle plushie.
That's awesome. I actually have a Bert the Turtle sticker on my refrigerator.
Do you? But
Absolutely.
You can get a plushie. Okay, continue.
Anyway, so that is often mischaracterized as propaganda. It has similar themes to the more adult-oriented civil defense training films. It was widely distributed to United States school children in the 1950s and teaches students what to do in the event of a nuclear explosion. It was funded by the Federal Civil Defense Administration. So there you go. I did not lead you astray this time. Bert the Turtle.
It's $14.95 from America's National Parks website.
I wonder if that's not coming out of the Minuteman Missile Museum out there in Wall, South Dakota.
Oh, it's big.
How big are we talking?
This cat that's posed next to looks pretty chunky.
Oh, god dang. That's a pretty good sized Bert the Turtle.
Yeah. Oh, you can get a costume.
Oh, good God.
Might be good for Halloween.
Michael.
What?
Michael.
What?
You need a Bert the Turtle costume. So then when you show your students the video, you can go in costume.
As Bert the Turtle.
As Bert the Turtle.
You know I would do that.
You should.
I would completely do that.
You should. There's nothing stopping you.
I'm an adult. I can make these decisions.
Right? But you know what? They say there's a million reasons to not do something. You can always find a reason not to do it. It's the brave person who finds the one reason to do it.
Did you read that in a Hobby Lobby or something? Right next to the Live, Laugh, Love sign?
No, I heard it in a podcast somewhere.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, heck, if the Ponderay Players did not already, that's our local theater group, if they didn't already have a role for me for our haunted house here at the museum, I would even consider ordering this costume and going as Bert the Turtle.
Bert the Turtle isn't scary, though. In a haunted house.
Nuclear warfare.
You would have to be like a radiated Bert the Turtle.
Okay, now that could just be fun.
Right?
He kind of looks like a 50s Ninja Turtle.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's all right. I was a fan of Ninja Turtles growing up.
Which one was your favorite?
Donatello.
Donatello?
Yeah. Donatello or probably Raphael.
Which one wore the purple mask?
Donatello.
That's my favorite.
You're just saying that because I said it.
Because I like purple. Which one was the one who held the hand that had the two hand? I don't know what they're called.
Size?
Yeah, is that the thing where you there's two of them and they have the 3 points?
Yeah, that was Donatello had the staff. I think Michelangelo had the nunchucks. Leonardo had the sword, so it might have been Raphael.
Oh, okay. I like those things. They look cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the Ponderay Players recast my character, I would totally go as a Bert the Turtle. And we could, have a sheet in the back with a nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
So it'll be great. Heck, we've even, here in the museum, we even have old water drums. We have old ration kits that you would store in a fallout shelter and whatnot.
Are they still good?
I have not tried them, and I don't know if I want to.
Probably not a good idea.
Probably, unless I was sitting at a hospital ready to have my stomach pumped, then maybe. So, but no, it is. So, I mean, we've got a very deep history in regards to military history in north central Montana, where we've performed Clue and MASH.
Yeah.
Norley Hall.
Norley Hall
was going to be part of that same base where Blue Sky Villa is, and Norley Hall is named after Lewis Norley. He was a local Conradian. He was from Conrad. So he was from here, but he would fly P-51s during the Second World War. So it's named after him. He was an American air ace. So I forget how many he shot down. I know my assistant curator would know that, but she's not here. So, but no, we have this long and storied history with and the latest chapter just being our missiles and our PAR site. So
speaking of Maelstrom, I was listening to a podcast the other day about the possibility of that being a hotbed for UFO activity and that sort of thing. So I think we should do a podcast on the UFOs of northern Montana.
Well, the baseball team, Great Falls Voyagers. Yeah. It's not named after Lewis and Clark. It's named after way back in, 1947, 48, something like that. The owner recorded a UFO, a supposed UFO over Great Falls. You can look this up on YouTube. Film.
I mean, I've heard about it on other podcasts where they talk about aliens and that sort of thing. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I want to look into it, and I want to do a podcast about
Yeah, and
it sometime.
he recorded this, and eventually the team name changed after a couple iterations to the Great Falls Voyagers, and their mascot is Orbit. The Mariana UFO incident in 1950.
Yeah, we'll have to go in depth on that sometime.
One day.
But except for now that we announced it, they're probably going to like put the kibosh down and send us a cease and desist.
Yeah,
or
it's
something
coming.
Like that.
I would be game for doing an episode like that one day. So
Yeah,
because I think we have our next episode already scheduled out, don't we?
we do. We are going to be having a special guest on the show.
Our first guest ever.
So hopefully it'll go good.
Yes, I'll talk.
It'll be awesome because our special guest is an amazing person who is
spectacular, just
spectacular
wonderful,
and very beloved around town. So.
Oh yeah, I think everybody probably in the Tri-County area here between us and Toole and I mean even Liberty and whatnot, I think they all know this person. So, but she's wonderful. She's a lot of fun. And she'll talk your ear off. Holy cow. We love you. So
yeah. So, well, thank you very much for listening. If you've made it this far, I don't know. Do you have anything else?
Nope. Just follow along with us. Subscribe to us on Spotify or follow us on YouTube. What is that? Like and follow, as it were.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And ring the notification bell.
We like that. So yeah, follow us on Spotify and YouTube. Also, we have our Facebook page, 406-411 podcast. And then we also have our email address, which I don't remember again.
406-411podcast@gmail.com.
There you go. So I think that's it for this episode, is it?
It is.
Outstanding. All right, everybody. Good night and good luck.
You stole that.
I did. Edward R. Murrow is a fascinating guy.
All right, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.